Now, as Eddie pointed out, we do have the capability of supporting existing infrastructures. So maybe somebody's in a contract with their current prem or cloud PBX for another year or two, and they can't do a rip and replace. Well, we can still connect via SIP trunks or tie lines so that we can get the foot in the door with the intelligent virtual agents. And then down the road, if the contract is up, then there's an opportunity for a full Five9 contact center or another offering. Now, there's a couple ways of approaching these types of applications. So on the one hand, you have individual tasks that may be primed for automation. And so there we're typically talking about what are the most repetitive, mundane, potentially error-prone, boring, unfulfilling type of tasks, right? So as we've seen, that could be scheduling an appointment, sending appointment reminders, checking the status of a claim, filing a ticket, things of that nature, right? And so it's not just about ROI, although the ROI can be phenomenal, not only in cost savings of labor, but also software seats, but it's also about providing the optimal caller and customer experience. So that comes into play a couple ways. First of all, when it comes to looking up the status or authenticating a user with a PIN or a password or even a biometric voice print, it's just more efficient because the lookup can happen in a second via API call, as opposed to if you're speaking with a person. Oh, hold on, let me pull up my screen. Now, what's your account number again? Okay, and what's your name and your PIN? So it's just straight up faster and more accurate and less prone to error. And it also provides a more fulfilling experience for the employee, because instead of spending their time doing authentication check and password reset, by the time a caller comes to them, they've been pre-authenticated. The agent has a screen pop with the information presented right in front of them. And so they are ready to engage in the matter at hand, why the person was actually calling and why they need assistance in more of that high touch scenario. So it's not just ROI, it's a better experience for the customer as well as for the employees. So I want you all to keep that in mind when you're positioning these products. So today, maybe we'll go through a few different examples of how we can use IVAs to automate some or all of an application. So we can support voice as well as SMS or messaging and even chatbot tasks. And there is data sharing across the channels. So you'll see we can pivot from a voice interaction to a text interaction, and you maintain that context. And again, if the call or interaction does escalate to a live agent, they are provided the context. So they can see the transcript or the conversation or the intents leading up to there, so that the caller does not get frustrated having to repeat their information. Now, what we'll start with is a quick look at the task library. So the task library consists of over 50 pre-made applications that we have out of the box. We've developed these based on frequency of customer requests. So these cover a lot of recognizable things along the lines of satisfaction and NPS surveys, outage notifications, product recalls, VIP routers, snow day notifications, and so forth. So the one that I'll start with is going to be a natural language call steering. And I like to call this natural language light. And so the reason I say that is because we'll be using keyword spotting, and then in a few minutes looking at a full-blown conversational AI type of interaction. So for all of our tasks, really one of the values is that we have aggregated existing technologies. So we didn't reinvent the wheel when it comes to speech recognition or text-to-speech, but rather we're sort of standing on the shoulders of giants and we're leveraging the big tech companies. So when it comes to languages, we support over 100 different languages because we've aggregated Google WaveNet and IBM Watson and Nuance and LumenVox all in the same portal in just a pick list. So even within American English, as opposed to UK or Australian or Indian, we've got dozens of male and female synthetic voices. Of course, you've also got the option to upload standard WAV files. So when I click save, this is importing the task from the task library. And this one is just a simple front door for a call flow. So thanks for calling ABC Company. In a few words, how can I help you? So that's going to provide much more of that conversational experience that callers are becoming accustomed to based on their interactions with Siri, with Alexa, right? It's no longer just press 1 or say sales. And so here we'll capture their utterance, we'll transcribe it, we'll store it, and then we'll be spotting keywords. And anytime that we want to modify the keywords that are spotted, it's as easy as coming in here. So we could say, if somebody says sales or buy or purchase, we'll go down that path. So we'll give it a quick call.
Welcome to our company. How can I help you today?
I'd like to talk to someone about making a purchase. Can you help with that?
Transferring you to our sales department. Please hold.
Right? So a pretty vanilla type of use case, but going from a traditional press 1, press 2, DTMF, PBX, it provides that much more modern and flexible type of interaction for callers. And so that also brings us to a good point about how you approach positioning the product, is that on the one side, you could pick off those individual tasks like, oh, when they press 1 for a password reset or 2 to check the claim status, we could just automate that one task and you can branch off to us. Or we can be the front door so that out of the gates, we're using that natural language to identify where they're trying to get and then directing them to the right place, even if it's an existing queue and so forth. Now, to showcase the capabilities of some of the other text-to-speech voices, I'm going to share a quick example that everybody can relate to this past year, and that is going to be like a buy online, pick up in store, or retail application. So on this side, in this case, curbside pickup, right? So you place an order, show up at Fry's or Target, and then you call when you get to your parking spot, and they're able to look it up and send it out. Now, this type of functionality allows smaller businesses as well as enterprises to have that same level of technical sophistication that callers are coming to expect, based on the industry standards that they're used to. So we'll give this one a call and then unpack it.
This is a demonstration of how everyday tasks, like curbside pickup, can be automated using an intelligent virtual agent. In this example, the customer placed an order online. When they pull up, a sign tells them what number to call. Using their phone number, we find their order. After confirming their parking spot, we update the status and notify the team to bring it out. Let's give it a try.
Thanks for calling Curbside Pickup at ABC Company. I see you're calling from 585-229-4683. Based on that, I don't see an order that matches. Please say or enter the 10-digit phone number associated with your account.
585-229-1646.
You entered 585-229-1646. Great news, based on your number, I found your order. If this is Sarah McDonald, press 1 or say yes. Otherwise, press 2 or say no.
Yes.
Great, thanks. And what spot number are you parked in?
I'm parked in spot number 7.
You said you're in spot number 7, is that right?
Yes.
I just let the team know you're here. Someone should be out shortly with your order. You can apply any coupons at the time of delivery. If nobody is there in 5 minutes, call back and press star to be transferred to one of our team members. Thanks for using ABC Company Curbside Pickup. Have a great day, goodbye.
Right, so it creates for a very smooth experience, and you can see that the text-to-speech voices are very compelling. Now, that was just out of the box. So all that we did was, type in what the prompt was and it spoke it back. It is worth noting that we do have the ability to really kind of fine tune. So if we need to change the volume, the emphasis, the pitch, how quick they're talking, or even how they say numbers and order numbers back, then we can manage all of that in a customized fashion right here from inside the portal. Now, you'll also notice that in addition to the text-to-speech and speech-to-text and decision-making capabilities, we've got RESTful web services built right into the portal, so that when we want to do a query and check the order status, or send a notification that the person's here to pick up their order, this is very much like Postman. So it's a no-code environment, but you can just include the URL, the authentication method, headers, parameters, send off the API call, and then it's got that web integration, and then you can map the payload back into the task for playback, for decision-making, and for logging purposes. So a really powerful kind of technology stack here to empower some really nice business applications. So as questions come up, feel free to put them in the chat, and you can feed those over to me. Otherwise, I'll keep going with maybe just one or two quick other demonstrations of some potential applications, and then we'll hand it back to the main presenters.
Alex,
So
this
the
is
next
great
one,
stuff, man. I actually would love to see more of this. You know, this is exactly the type of visual representation of a customer's journey that we were looking for. So don't hesitate to utilize the time, my friend.
oh, thank you much, Ryan. I appreciate that. So the next one I'll show is going to be the ability to capture multilingual interactions. So obviously it's quite common, press 1 for this language, press 2 for that, but what happens from there? And so as we move to a more dynamic interaction style where it's not just, okay, you know, to check order status, press 1, for password reset, press 2, we want to enable that conversational style of interaction that's much more fluid in multiple languages. And so we'll be taking a look here at just such an application. Now this one is a really standard kind of banking bot where I'm just calling and then asking my account balance and it's telling me how much money is in the account. But what I've done is I've actually wired it up with the international voices. So we've got Spanish, French, and Japanese supported as well. Now, a lot of times a business may have an employee who speaks the languages they want to support, and they can perform training of the natural language agent behind the scenes to ensure that it is doing what they expect. It's fulfilling the caller's requests. And that's something that gets better over time. I don't speak all these languages. I've got a little cheat sheet on the other screen, right? And so what I actually did was just leverage Google Translate. So we can see here in the canvas, when I'm speaking a language other than English, I take whatever they said, flip it to English for processing, return the response, and then flip it back to the native language of the speaker. And so even me, you know, monolinguist, just English, I can make these tasks that support multiple different languages. So we'll give a quick call just so you get a sense of the multilingual capabilities, and then we will look at an interaction log to see what we actually said if you don't speak these languages. So sit tight just one sec.
This is a demo of multilingual conversational NLU. Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish, 3.
En pocas palabras, ¿cómo puedo ayudarte?
Quiero consultar mi saldo.
¿Saldo para qué, ahorros o cuenta corriente?
Para cuenta de cheques.
Aquí está su último saldo, $800.
Gracias. Adiós.
Es un placer ayudar.
All right, we'll give it a quick go in French as well.
This is a demo of multilingual conversational NLU. Press 1 for English, 2.
En quelques mots, comment puis-je vous aider?
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Salut, bienvenue à Acme Bank.
Je veux vérifier mon solde.
Pour quel compte voulez-vous le solde? Épargne ou chèque?
C'est pour compte chèque.
Voici votre dernier solde, $800.
Merci, au revoir.
Bye bye.
All right, so for those of us who don't speak French or Spanish, I was actually capturing the interaction in a local log. And here we can see line by line from the bottom up what the caller said and what the bot said in both the native language as well as in English. So, quiero consultar mi saldo. I want to check my balance. Balance for which? Savings or checking? And then it translated and spoke it back in Spanish. Para cuenta de cheques, for the checking account, $800. Thanks, goodbye. And then we had the same type of interaction here in French. Bonjour, comment ça va? How are you? Hey, welcome to Acme Bank. You know, bienvenue à Acme Bank. Check my balance for checking, $800. So right there, that shows you, especially for those of you who have international customer base or branch offices in multiple continents, that they definitely have the capability of providing a consistent experience across multiple languages and different channels. So the last one that I'll share is going to be more of a true natural language interaction. And so this one is not directed, it's really open-ended. How can we help you? And this business, they wanted to automate some FAQs. So imagine you've got a destination or a resort where most of the employees are focused on providing an experience to the visitors who are physically on premise, but they keep getting phone calls. hey, what are your hours? Do I have to pay for parking? Can I bring my dog? Right? And so, much like a chatbot, they front end the interaction of all callers with an intelligent virtual agent, because that virtual agent may be able to fulfill many of the requests and FAQs, even booking appointments or scheduling activities. And then only if an activity or a question comes through that needs a live agent, do they then pass through the gatekeeper or the filter and get through to somebody who is on premise. This one's going to incorporate natural language. We can connect to many different platforms, whether it's Amazon Lex, the same platform that powers Alexa. We've also got Google Dialogflow, IBM Watson as well. So the key differentiator when you're using a true conversational platform is a fewfold. We're not just looking for keywords, we're looking for the intent of the caller. And a great example is this FAQ around COVID. So we provide some training phrases to get the ball rolling, and then we'll train it with actual production data based on what the callers ask for. So here you can see some questions. What are your health and safety protocols? Do you sanitize everything? Are we social distancing? Do I need to wear a mask? Are you following CDC guidelines? Right, so these are radically different ways of phrasing a question, but for this business, they're all basically the same question, what's going on with COVID? And so with that, then they can serve up a predefined response. They could add variations so that they get a little bit of a different answer for each caller, so it's always new. And then we do also have the ability to capture required parameters. So for example, when I want to book an activity, we need to know, well, which activity and how many tickets do you want and when are you coming in? So you'll see the ability to normalize relative time, as well as make some of these reservations and even pivot from a voice interaction to a multi-channel where you get a text confirmation. So I'll pull this task up and then call it, and that'll probably be the last one that I've got time for today.
Thank you for calling ABC Tourist Destination. I'm your virtual assistant. In a few words, how can I help you?
Am I allowed to bring my dogs?
You won't have to leave anyone behind. The grounds are perfect for walking your pets, but please keep them securely leashed at all times. Animals are also allowed on the outdoor patios of Bistro and Tanner's Tavern. However, pets are not permitted at any of the lodging accommodations on the estate, with the exception of ADA-regulated service animals. I'm still in training. Was my response helpful?
Yes.
Great. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
What's the weather forecast?
Here's the weather forecast for Asheville, North Carolina. It's currently sunny and 67 degrees, with 13-mile-an-hour winds. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 33 degrees. I'm still in training. Was my response helpful?
Yes.
Great. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Can I make a reservation?
What activity? You can say Downton Abbey, afternoon tea, falconry, kayak, or wine tour.
Let's have afternoon tea.
Got it. And how many will there be in your party?
3.
Last of all, what day and time would you like?
Tomorrow at 2 p.m.
You said 3 tickets for afternoon tea at 2 p.m. on Thursday, February 25th, is that correct?
Yes.
Great news, I was able to book your appointment. Your reservation number is 334649. Again, that's 334649. Would you like me to send you a text message with your reservation details?
Sure.
Great, thanks. I see you're calling from 8469. To use this number, press 1, or say, same. To use a different number, press 2, or say, different.
Different.
Please say or enter your 10-digit mobile number.
857-205-3455.
You entered 857-205-3455, is that correct?
Yes.
I just sent you a text message with the details. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No thanks.
Thanks for using ABC Tourist Destination. Have a great day, goodbye.
All right, so there we can see it supports a really rich experience for the caller, automating a lot of things and providing value for the business. Last thing I'll share just before I wrap up on time here is going to be that the natural language agent gets trained to become better. And so with that, there's a couple pieces. We have the actual audio recording of what the caller spoke.
What's the weather forecast?
And then we have the transcript as well as a confidence score for that transcript. So we can use that threshold to make sure that we think we've got what we need. And then we also have the intent, which is how confident is it that this is what they were asking to do? And obviously I've done this demo a bunch of times, so my agent is 100% confident that's what I wanted to do. And then last of all, within Dialogflow in this case that we're using as the conversational AI platform, a member of staff would actually come in and validate the performance of the bot. So we've got the interactions. Am I allowed to bring my dogs? Was that the FAQ around pets? Yes. Weather forecast? Correct. If it was wrong, we could pick a different option from the pick list, or see that callers are asking for something we don't currently support and build out a new intent. Check the box, magic happens, and that's how the performance of the bot, the machine learning algorithm, gets tuned. So that's a little look at some different applications leveraging intelligent virtual agents to both automate tasks as well as gather information, hand it off to a live agent so that they provide a better experience for the caller.